Hey Rad World, we've had a lot of really good movies this year, and on today's show we are going to do a year in review for movies of 2016. I'm Tony Walters.
I'm Rebekah Erb.
I'm Laura Newman.
And we're going to count down for you our top 5 movies of this year that we personally enjoyed. This is, we didn't get a chance to see all the movies that came out this year, so this is just the movies that we've seen that, we got the most enjoyment out of. To start off the show, we'll go through some honorable mentions for some things that didn't quite make the cut, but were definitely great films of this year.
Probably Suicide Squad.
I have mixed feelings about that movie.
Yeah.
I feel like I gave it too high of a score.
It wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be, but I thought that the story between Harley Quinn and the Joker was so strong, and the Joker was so good. Like, those two characters I didn't expect much from, but they kind of blew it out of the water for me, and it made that whole movie for me, so I wanted to give that an honorable mention.
I had a lot of fun at that movie, and despite all the controversy of it, I enjoyed the movie. I had a lot of fun with it. Some movies that made honorable mentions for me are Lights Out, Zootopia, Sausage Party. Arrival would probably be one of those movies that would have made my list, but I have not seen it yet.
I guess there's Bad Moms for me to do my honorable mention. I genuinely enjoyed that. It was a good shut your brain off movie to just laugh at.
All right, so let's go with our number 5. Who wants to kick it off?
I can. My number 5 was Pete's Dragon, and it's a very biased pick for mine. I don't think it would be a lot of people's top 5, but
I haven't seen it, but
I love the original. I grew up watching that, and they did a really, really good job remastering it. I mean, with today's technology, Elliot looked fantastic. It's just a fun family feature, and that's my number 5.
My number 5 is Green Room, which was a really good thriller, punk rock, just who's Sir Patrick Stewart. Sir Patrick Stewart being a Nazi bad guy, totally awesome, like really gory, just like totally unexpected movie from this year that I absolutely loved. Starring the late Anton Yelchin, great actor. Sucks that he's no longer with us.
My number 5 was The Conjuring 2. I was pleasantly surprised with this movie because I thought the first Conjuring movie was really good. I was really surprised by how much I liked that one because I felt like that there hadn't been a good scary movie like that since Amityville Horror with Ryan Reynolds. Mm-hmm. And then that one was so good, and I thought, there's no way they can do it again. Mm-hmm. But The Conjuring 2 was a really good scary movie. It actually scared me more than the first one, so it made my list.
It was surprisingly good for me. When we went to see that at the drive-in.
At the drive-in. It was a good drive-in movie.
Yeah. I didn't really care to see it. It wasn't a movie that struck my interest at all, but I was very surprised with that movie. It was really good.
Number 4, Rogue One. I'm a big fan of Star Wars, and I don't want to give too much without, I guess, with the review.
It was a good action,
a good spin-off
Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
War film, and it did not make my top 5, but
honorable mention.
definitely an honorable mention. Yeah. It was really good. I really enjoyed it.
Not as good as the episodes. And I think that goes without saying. I mean, nothing's going to be as good as the episodes.
Not true. It's totally better than episode 1, 2, and 3.
Okay, well,
you gotta get technical about it.
Yeah.
But you said it right, though. It's a perfect spin-off movie.
It is, so. Yeah. And I love that they went with a different feel than the Star Wars. You had that war movie feel to it, and it was really good.
Yeah, it proved that they can do this. They can do spin-offs, and now I'm just excited to see what else they do.
Yes.
Han Solo spin-off.
Yes.
It's gonna be so
I'm not really excited for that movie, but I'm sure it'll be great. My number 4 is Deadpool. Like, this movie came out way back in February, surprised everybody at just, like, how you can do this rated R comic book movie and be more successful than every Fox Marvel movie that they've ever made, as well as it made more money than, like, I think the first Iron Man movie. Like, it did really well.
Yeah.
Right. And its marketing game was really strong. Like, just as strong as the movie, I feel like. But
and it didn't harm it in that sense. I feel like Suicide Squad was too over the top in the marketing, and it harmed it.
They were trying to do the same thing.
But Deadpool did it better. Yeah.
I'm so excited for Deadpool 2. I'm like more excited for the marketing for it almost than I am for the movie, because I'm ready for them to start marketing
and the working title is like Love Machine or
it?
Something like that.
That's great.
Which is funny, yeah.
Number 4 for me was The Shallows with Blake Lively, and this made my list because of my personal taste. Like, it was totally just a fun, dumb, like, summer movie. You know, I didn't have like high expectations for it, and I don't know. I think your review on it, I agreed everything that you said, but I appreciated it for what it was, and you hated it for all those things. Like, near the end of the movie, it just got so ridiculous, but I was just so on board. I was like, I don't care. I don't care that this is
the movie was
getting
fine.
Really outrageous. It was, I don't know, it was a good, drive-in summer movie. Like, I don't know.
It was fine until the end.
I was okay with the end, even with how bizarre and ridiculous it was.
So on to number 3.
Yes.
Kubo and the Two Strings is my number 3. And I absolutely loved it. And what I hate is I feel like claymation is kind of filtering out just because of all the work is put into it and not much reward. I think that's
didn't know that it was claymation.
Mm-hmm.
That's
and
awesome.
It is, for claymation, it is breathtaking. The artwork is so phenomenal, and the fight scenes in it are really smooth, surprisingly, for it to be claymation, and the characters are great. And what I look for, like, first and foremost, what I look for in a movie is I want to get to know the characters and get attached to them. And in this one, you really, really do. And it's a fun family movie, and yeah, it was absolutely great. I have not one bad thing to say.
Yeah, this company made Coraline, Paranorman, The Box Trolls, and Kubo and the Two Strings.
Oh wow,
okay.
Those are all really good ones.
Good.
Yeah,
and if people don't start going to see these movies when they're in theaters, like I feel like they do pretty good on DVD sales, and that's kind of why they keep making them. Mm-hmm. But people aren't going to theaters to see these movies, and these are movies that are definitely deserving. And I'm part of the problem here because I did not get the chance to see it, and it's because we live in a small town, and it's kind of hard to get out to see some of these movies. Number 3 for me is Captain America: Civil War, which was awesome. It was totally surprise. I mean, not necessarily surprise. It was just like, I don't know. I thought I knew I was going to get out of the movie, and it just exceeded all expectations. I absolutely loved Captain America: Civil War, or Captain America: The Winter Soldier, and Winter Soldier is still probably my favorite Marvel movie, but Civil War is right there underneath it. But Civil War was so great. Bringing Spider-Man into the MCU was probably my favorite moment of that whole movie.
Yep.
Tons of great surprises thrown out of that. But they had, 10 movies to build up to that moment.
Yeah.
And so everything just fell into place. It just worked just perfectly.
Number 2, Hacksaw Ridge. It was... I don't have words for it. It was so well made.
Mel Gibson.
Yeah, exactly. Like Mel Gibson, and he absolutely killed it. And I love these true stories because it adds so much to it because you know it actually happened. And I mean, when they're up there on Hacksaw Ridge and shit hits the fan, it's absolutely insane because you're right there seeing all these things happen. And there's a lot of violence, but what I like, and Stuckman kind of put it into words for me, is they don't idolize the violence. They're really focusing on this guy's journey and his beliefs. It is absolutely great. The only thing that I didn't like about it is I kept wanting more. Like, each scene would cut, and I'm like, no, like, there's more to it. Like, I want more.
My number 2 is Hell or High Water, because I absolutely love that movie. We just watched it the other night for the first time. I didn't get a chance to see it in theaters, so I just bought it on Blu-ray the other day, and it's Chris Pine and Jeff Bridges, and it is an awesome Western, like modern day Western, brothers robbing banks, you know, and the way the story plays out, and the nice little twist to like why they're robbing banks and all this, like it all plays out so great. It's slow, but it's a Western. It feels like a Western the whole time, and the payoff in the end of the movie is so worth the journey to get there. It's like
a Western heist movie.
It is, and it's great.
It was a good movie. It was a tad slow for me at times, but it was good. It was a good movie. My number 2 was Captain America Civil War.
I know, I'm just like stealing your thunder here.
Yeah, my number 3, by the way, was Deadpool, and my number 2 was Civil War, so we already talked about that. But
number 1 movie of 2016.
Oh, man. Swiss Army Man. By far the best movie of all year. Original storyline. Daniel Radcliffe and Paul Dano absolutely kill it. It's hilarious. You get attached to these characters. It's so great.
I know it's one of those movies that's right down my alley, so
yeah.
It probably would have made my top 5 had I seen it, but since I hadn't seen it, it didn't make my top 5. But what did make my top 5, my number 1 movie, is also your number 1 movie.
Sweet.
And that is The Nice Guys.
Yes.
Directed by Shane Black, and starring
Ryan Gosling
and Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe. Yep.
Yeah. It's a great buddy cop.
Yeah.
L.A. in the 70s.
Yeah.
But it is a fun like detective story with like buddy cop, comedy, and but it's more than all those things. It's more than a comedy.
All the actors have really good chemistry, and they're with one another, and so.
Really good, really funny. Shane Black knows how to write buddy cop movies.
Yeah.
Proven time and time again now. So, like, dude can't do wrong when it comes to this genre. And I was waiting, because the movie came out earlier this year. I was waiting all year for a movie that was going to top that for me.
Yeah.
And maybe had I seen, like, Arrival, that I feel like that could have replaced that. Would have been higher on my list, because that movie is one that is, like, it's a movie that I feel like was made for me, and I haven't gotten a chance to see it yet. But, and Nocturnal Animal is another movie that I wish I would have gotten a chance to see. But maybe I'll be able to see those here sometime in the near future while they're still in theaters, hopefully. Thanks for joining us on this year in review. What did you think of our lists? What would have been your top 5? Let us know in the comments. Any of the videos that we mentioned that we've done reviews for, we'll link to those in the description, so you can check out anything that you haven't seen yet. Get out there, watch some of these movies. They're really good. And you have anything to plug?
Instagram, look me up, geeky.larpchick89.
And you can follow us at Rad Entertain on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Follow myself at TonyWalters_, and we'll catch you guys next time here on Rad Entertainment. And there's actually a subscribe button down here, and whatever probably our other year in review video game thing over here. Probably. That might make it in the video. I don't know.